Hello everyone. Our lesson for today is about the phonological processes in rapid connected speech, more precisely about the process of assimilation. But before we start, let's have a brief introduction about the topic. So, when a native speaker or a native-like speaker utters the English language in rapid or casual way, we will notice that some phonological processes will appear in his or her produced utterances. Those phonological processes, in fact, do not appear randomly in any utterance we would like them to appear, but they are somehow rule-governed. It means there are some phonological rules or processes which govern the rapid connected speech. Those rules help the speaker to produce a fluent and smooth connected speech. They facilitate the transition between sounds, hence facilitate the production of natural English. During this lesson, you will recognize that connected speech helps us to explain why written English is so different from spoken English. But what is meant by connected speech? In fact, it is an ordinary, spontaneous speech as opposed to the pronunciation of individual words or phrases in isolation. It is the rapid or casual or informal style of speech. As I have mentioned earlier in the video, this lesson is about assimilation. So, what is assimilation? Assimilation concerns the change in which one consonant is replaced by another consonant which is more similar to some neighboring consonants, so as to make the pronunciation more rapid and fluent. We have, in fact, three types of assimilation. A, progressive assimilation, because we have a forward change. B, regressive assimilation, or when we have a backward change between the two consonants. And finally, the last type, which is palatalization, or reciprocal or mutual influence between the two consonants, and we are going to explain each one separately. So we start with the first type, which is progressive assimilation. What do we mean by progressive? Progressive means a forward change. That is, we have two consonants. The first consonant will be, in this case, will be the cause of the change, and the change will occur on the second consonant, that is, forward change. That's why we call it forward or progressive change. This assimilation happens before of the feature of voicing. That's why we call it assimilation in voicing. The first case is when we have s becomes z after voiced consonant. Again, s becomes z after voiced consonant. Example, in the word beds. Beds. So when we write the S of the plural, but when we pronounce it, it is pronounced beds. Z. Why progressive? Why forward? Here we notice that we have two consonants, the d and the s, or which will become z. So the cause is the d, the cause is the first consonant, and the result or the change will occur forward after the cause, which is z. Another case, d becomes t after voiceless consonant. For example, sniffed, sniffed. So here the d becomes t because of the f. So because of the f, which is voiceless sound, the result is forward. The result is after. So we will have t instead of d. Another type, which is the second type, it is called regressive assimilation. By regressive here we mean there is a backward change. It means we have two consonants, one affecting the other, but the cause is the second consonant and the result of the change will be on the first consonant. We have regressive assimilation because of the feature of voicing. So, the first case, the becomes f before t or k. Example, have to, have to. It becomes have to, have to. So we notice that we have two consonants, the v and the t. And the change will occur in the first consonant, which is v, which will become f, because of the next consonant or the second consonant, which is t. That's why we call it backward. The cause is the second, which is t. And the change is backward or regressive. The change is in the consonant before it. So, have to becomes have to. Another case, regressive assimilation because of voicing, the z becomes s before t or k. Example, has to, it becomes has to, has to. So, because of the t, the z becomes s. Another subtype of regressive assimilation, it is because of place of articulation. And we have different cases here. The first one, the n becomes m before p or b. Example, can pay, can pay. It becomes can pay, can pay. Instead of can pay, it becomes can pay. So the n becomes m because of p. Another case, the m or n, they become n sound before k or g. Example, can come becomes can come, not n, not can come. So here the n becomes n because of the sound k. So it's a backward change. The k is the second consonant and the change or the influence is first, can come. Another case, z becomes j before sh. Example, is she, it becomes is she. So it becomes je. So sh becomes je when we have before it sh. We carry on with the last type of assimilation, which is called palatalization. Palatalization. Okay? Why? Here this process occurs between two consonants when we have two consonants, but in this case, not one influencing the other, but as the previous two examples or cases or types, but they both influence each other. That's why we call it reciprocal or mutual influence. It happens, palatalization happens when consonants t, d, s or z occur at the end of a word and the next word begins with u. We are going to have different cases here. So, when the first word ends with t and the second word starts with u, they influence each other and they come up with a new sound, which is the sound ch. Example, can't you, it becomes can'tcha. Another case, when the first word ends with s and the second word starts with u, they come up with the sound sh. Example, this year, it becomes this year. So, in some cases, sometimes you will hear a light u added after the sh. This year. Another case, when the first word ends with d sound and the second word starts with u sound, they come up with the sound j. Example, did you, did you. So it becomes didja, didja. Another case, we have the sound z at the end of the first word and the sound y at the beginning of the second word. They come up both, they influence each other, and they come up with the sound j. Example, as you, it becomes j, like as you like, as you like. Again here we can hear sometimes a light j after the j. Now we have some practice. In the first exercise, we have different forms here. The forms below are transcribed in two ways. You have words which are transcribed in two ways. The first indicate the most careful pronunciation, that is the slow pronunciation, with no phonological processes applied on it or occurring on them. And one suggests the most casual, that is the rapid. You are asked to examine each casual form and compare it, of course, with the slow or careful form and say what process or processes, maybe more than one, account for the difference from the slow, careful form. Okay? So, the first one, or the first word, is the word pumpkin. The slow one is pumpkin. But the casual one, you have pankin, pankin. Here in this word, we notice two processes. The first process is consonant elision. We have the consonant cluster m, p, k within the word, and we omit the p, pumpkin. And another process, when we omit the p, we will have m, the consonant m, facing the consonant k, which the fact that urges another process to occur, which is called regressive assimilation. So this m will become ny before k. Again, the m will become ny because it is before k. The second word is probably. Probably. It becomes probably. Probably. So, which process we notice here? We notice the process of elision. More precisely, vowel elision. We have dropped a schwa from probably to probably. Number 3, we have the word supposed to. Supposed to. It becomes supposed to. Supposed to. So in this word we will have 3 processes. The first process is the vowel elision of the schwa at the beginning of the word, at the unstressed syllable at the beginning of the word. So we omit the schwa. It becomes, instead of supposed, it becomes supposed. Another process, it is consonant elision. We have omitted the d from the consonant cluster z, d, t at word boundaries. We omitted the d, it becomes supposed. When we have omitted the t, another process will occur, which is regressive assimilation. So the z will become s because we have t. Before t, the z is pronounced s. That's why it becomes from supposed to supposed. Supposed. Number 4, the word don't know. Don't know. It becomes dunno. Dunno. In this word, in fact, we have 2 processes. The first process is consonant elision. At word boundaries, we have the consonant cluster n, t, n. We omit the t, so it becomes don't know, don't know. But here we have also another process, which is, we notice that the diphthong O, which is composed of two vowels, become A. O become A. So here we call this process palatalization. Though this process was not, or this case was not mentioned in the lesson, but when we analyze it, O is a diphthong composed of two vowels, the schwa and u, and they become another vowel, which is A. So we can call this process as palatalization. Finally, the word government, it becomes government. So here we have two processes. We notice a vowel elision after a medial posttonic syllable. We have elided the schwa, gav becomes gav, government. We have omitted the schwa, and we notice also a consonant elision, government. We have omitted the n here from this word. We move to another task. Here it is a practice on one type of assimilation, which is regressive assimilation, more precisely in place of articulation. So we have different phrases, and we are going to transcribe and show the regressive assimilation and show the two consonants. In the first one, we have the word or the phrase 10 boys. 10 boys. It becomes 10 boys. 10. Instead of 10, it becomes 10 boys. So here the n becomes m before b, or because of b. Number 2, 10 caps. 10 caps. It becomes 10 caps. 10 caps. Here the n becomes n. The n becomes n because of or before k sound. Number 3, goodbye. Goodbye. So here the d in good, it becomes b, and we pronounce it goodbye. Goodbye. But here, do we pronounce two b? We have in the transcription b, goodbye. Do we say goodbye? No, we pronounce as one b, goodbye. In fact, this is another process which is called linking, that we are going to see it in the coming lessons. It's linking similar consonants. So instead of pronouncing two b, we make it a one b, but slightly longer than usual. So we say goodbye, goodbye. So here again, the d becomes b before b, or because of b. Number 4, good girl. Good girl, it becomes good girl. Good girl. Again, the d becomes g because of g. And here we do not pronounce two g, but we make it, as I said, it is a linking process, and we make it one consonant, one g, but slightly longer than usual. So we say good girl, good girl. Number 5, the phrase Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant. It becomes maum, m at the end. Mount Pleasant. Why? So here the n becomes m, of course, after the consonant elision, after the t elision. So the n becomes m before p sound. Number 6, the phrase main gate. Main gate. It becomes main gate. Main gate. So the n becomes n sound before the g. Number 7, done once. Done once. It becomes thou once. Thou once. So here we notice that the n turns to w because of w. So n becomes w before w. Again, we do not pronounce two w. We don't say thou once. We say thou once. It's a linking process, and we pronounce it slightly longer than usual. Number 8, nice shoes. Nice shoes. It becomes nice shoes. Nice shoes. So we notice that the s becomes sh before sh. Again here, We don't pronounce two sh, but we pronounce it as one sh, but slightly longer than usual, and we make a linking process. It becomes nice shoes. Number 9, that gate. That gate, it becomes that gate, that gate. So here the t becomes k before g. The t becomes k before g. Number 10, finally, those shops, those shops. It becomes those shops, those shops. So here the z becomes j because of sh or before sh. So far we have finished with the process of assimilation. Please, any questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll answer you as soon as possible.